Hey, what's going on, everybody? Today we're talking AMP token, ticker symbol AMP. As a disclaimer, this is not investment advice. This is just a research video that I put together meant to be educational as well as entertaining. We're going to take a look at a few different news clippings and articles surrounding the cryptocurrency, and then we're going to jump into the chart. Thank you for your time. Please continue to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Please enjoy.
There was a lot of short covering going on. I know a lot of people talked about Amazon being the catalyst, but a lot of that Amazon news was out about a week ago. So what I think happened with this big move is you did have a significant amount of shorts, and then you may have got a whiff of that Amazon news, you may have got a whiff of the Tether news, and all of a sudden it created this big short squeeze on a Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening when the market's a little more or a little less liquid.
So where do you think Bitcoin goes from here? I mean, it was a bounce. It didn't hold 40. So now what?
Yeah, I mean, listen, no surprise here. I'm still bullish on Bitcoin. I mean, the real game here is whether or not it is going to be adopted as an institutional asset. And I don't see anything that has changed my mind on that. And then the secondary part, which is the tailwind, is whether or not central banks and the Federal Reserve are going to tighten monetary policy or continuing printing. And by my score, I don't see how they cannot continue to print.
Hey, BK, it's Karen. Let me ask you, we've been following this GBTC, the Bitcoin Trust, which went from a big discount to a very big premium just today. What was that all about?
So that's probably to me, that's the biggest news that we've had in crypto in the last week or so. So what happened was JP Morgan announced that they're going to allow their financial advisors to buy GBTC, and also Osprey has a product very similar to that. And so what happens is, this has been a drag on Bitcoin because that discount, when people were first getting into it, they were trading at a premium. So they buy Bitcoin, they put it into the GBTC, and they wait 6 months and hope they get a bit of an arbitrage on that. When it's at a discount, nobody wants to do that. When it's at a premium, people will buy Bitcoin. So this creates demand for Bitcoin just on that arbitrage between spot Bitcoin and the price of GBTC. And if JP Morgan's financial advisors are successful, that'll create more flow into GBTC.
Let's take a look at this article from NASDAQ, AMP Crypto, what investors are saying as AMP prices soar today. This article came out July 26, so not too long ago. AMP is soaring higher on Monday, and investors are reacting positively to recent rumors about the crypto. According to rumors today, Amazon is preparing to accept crypto payments. However, it needs a network to help with that. This is where AMP comes into play. The rumors claim that Amazon has reached out to AMP and Algorand to help it with this process. The idea is Amazon accepting crypto payments is huge, and investors are talking about it online. And I'm not going to go through the entire article, but it's just safe to say that if a company such as Amazon is going to start taking crypto payments, it needs blockchain, it needs crypto such as AMP and Algorand, as the article suggested, to help out with that. So let's take a look at a little bit more about what AMP provides to the space when it comes to purchasing and security and everything that AMP is about. It will only lead to my decision to continue to not just hold AMP, but to continue to purchase AMP. Again, this isn't investment advice, but when news such as this comes out, I think everyone who is holding crypto noticed there was a nice pop around the time that Amazon had mentioned this, but it's nothing to get too excited about. I guess that what I can say is what I'm taking away from this article is that it is nice that they are considering AMP and Algo. I'm an Algonaut. Just for transparency, I hold both tokens, so I think that it's just very, very nice to not to get too excited about the rumors, but also to it's positive news one way or another. So let's continue.
Hey, Beeks, it's Dan. So we call you the Bitcoin baller, but you're also an Ethereum enthusiast here. Talk to us about this range, man. Over the last month, Ethereum topped out a month ago, basically, or a few weeks ago, where it topped out today, and it bottomed out. You see a double bottom here. Are we just stuck in a range here? We know there's a couple catalysts. Talk to us about those catalysts this summer and later on in the year.
Yeah, so I'm actually fairly bullish on Ethereum. The biggest thing that's happening to Ethereum is it's an upgrade. It's called EIP 1559 for those tech-savvy folks that want to look at it. But basically what it does is it switches the algorithm from a proof of work to a proof of stake, so it uses less electricity to mine. But the more important thing is they're actually changing their monetary policy. So Ethereum actually could be a deflationary currency. And in terms of cryptocurrencies, deflationary in terms of cap supply is generally good for price. And so you've got everything in the world that is built on Ethereum, DeFi, NFTs, all of that, plus a new monetary policy coming up, plus potentially tailwinds from just adoption of this as an asset class. And to me, that looks pretty good for Ethereum.
Okay, so here we are on the AMP website. And, just to piggyback off of that previous article where, Amazon is considering companies and projects such as AMP to be utilized in the process of accepting cryptocurrency, let's figure out why. It's nice to hear that, but let's try to understand why. So again, we're here on the AMP website, and I just want to bring into focus that AMP is a digital collateral token designed to facilitate fast and efficient value transfer, especially for use cases that prioritize security and irreversibility. So right off the back, a company such as Amazon would definitely like something like AMP to be used for security and irreversibility. As collateral, AMP ensures the value of any transfer while it remains unconfirmed, a process which can take anywhere from seconds to hours to days, right? So when you purchase something, there's a little bit of time there. So that time is being used as collateral with projects such as AMP. AMP tokens used as collateral are generally released when consensus for a particular transfer is achieved, making them available to collateralize another transfer. In the event that consensus is not achieved for the transfer, the AMP collateral can instead be liquidated to cover losses. So in my opinion, AMP is a beast because they're just going to cover all parties and say if anything happens, we're liquid enough to cover the losses, right? So it's just something to pay attention to. I'll leave this in the description below. Do yourself a favor, check out the website from AMP, but just real quick about the AMP token. AMP is an ERC-20 compliant token built on Ethereum. The AMP smart contracts have been released as an open source standard under the MIT license. AMP and its related smart contracts were audited by both Consensus Diligence and Trail of Bits. So, okay, we're going to continue on. We're going to move on. So let's just figure out who developed AMP. And I think that also, with me, for my research, it helps me wrap my head around the project. It helps me wrap my head around the vision for any sort of, company or digital asset, something that I am paying attention to. It just allows me to just kind of, achieve the knowledge that I'm looking for. So let's move on. Okay, we are here on my trading view, taking a look at the AMP chart, and I am just wanting to bring to attention these areas of support down here around the 30.039, close to the 4-cent mark. I find that as a nice solid floor. We had been trading there for quite some time during the pullback and during the accumulation phase, and I think that we're in a second accumulation phase in this sort of triangle pattern here, that if it trades, I think it can bounce in this channel, and I could definitely see a pop, right? I can definitely see where if it decides to maybe dip below here and it retests in close to that 4-cent area of support and try to find its way back into another channel. But ultimately, I feel that this can do anything, right? But I am going to prepare that it's going to trade perhaps in this window, looking for any sort of opportunity where it dips below this barrier, and I see this continuing to grow. So that's just where I am at when it comes to my analysis of AMP. And I think that it has a lot of room to run. I've kind of showcased some of the steps and some of the ideas behind it and why it can take off. So hopefully it will just be I guess an asset that we can keep an eye on. But we know what it's meant to do. We know what it will do in the future. And I think that it will continue to rise. So that's my chart on AMP. All right, I'm going to leave it here. I want to thank you for your time. I really do appreciate it. Please continue to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. It really helps out the channel. If there's another company, ETF, IPO, or cryptocurrency that you'd like to see me research, just drop it in the comment section below. I would do my best to get to it as soon as I can. Okay, y'all have a great week.